Henry 1000 watt vacuum cleaner. We're going to do a strip down and see why it's been under there. Top, and that's where the motor is inside there. We'll be stripping that down. The filter. There's just 4 screws. Come out around here. See the ring gear under here now, which allows the take out these 3 screws here. One, two, three. Okay, separate that from that. And there we have our 2 leads where they terminate for the mains lead. All we have to do is this, is to remove these leads here. One, two, always make sure that you've got the mains plug out, of course. There. Okay, and then this goes through one on the inside of the channel, then the outside, then the inside, and then onto the coil. So just simply lift that out there, inside, outside, inside, just remember it like that, and then we take the whole coil off. All we have to do is this, is to remove so it's an open circuit mains lead somewhere in this coil. So what I'm going to do is just to double check that it is an open circuit mains lead and not something else. We'll just twist those two ends together and take the other end where the plug is. I've already checked the fuse, by the way, and we've got a bleeper setting on this meter, and what happens is if you've got a good circuit, it simply bleeps like that. Put them together first. No, there's nothing there. So there we are. There's the meter, it's set on the bleep setting. So the leads, we'll just check this over. Check that the meter's working first of all. As you can see it is. Now we'll check the fuse. There's a possibility it could be the fuse, but it isn't. Okay. So the next thing we're going to check is the mains lead. On vacuum cleaners, I've always found the most vulnerable part of the lead is usually just near the plug, because that's where it bends when it's in the socket being pulled around. This is a sealed on plug, so we're just going to have to chop that off and put another plug on it. But anyway, we'll just cut that off for now, and I'll chop off a couple of feet, maybe just about 18 inches. We'll try it at that. So we'll just snip that off there. So let's see, getting into this switch. Just while we're at it, on this switch here there are 4 spade connectors, and I'll just tell you the colouring so you can pull it off. There's nothing to worry about really. Anyway, so you've got the brown one here, brown, and the blue, and then you've got on the other side of the switch, you've got the brown one again at the front and the white one at the back. This brown lead here, as you can see, links to your other speed control switch. Right, so I've got my meter here set on the buzz, and it's got continuity, and we're going to check the switch out, the on and off switch on the back. So we keep the switch in the off position to start with, and these 2 front tags here, which are the nearest, we'll go across those first of all and see if the switch is in fact working. One connection on the other, and now just simply push the on and off switch. And if it's okay, it'll buzz. And there we are. Now we'll check the back. Now there's an easier way of doing this. I'm just being... What you can do is just leave that in the on and off on the on position and check the 2 tags. But I just like to make sure, because sometimes a switch can be intermittent, and simply the vibration of the switch itself when you switch it on and off can sometimes make it work and not work it. And what I like to do is, to be absolutely sure, is give it a good testing. So now we'll check the the low and high speed switch on this again. Keep it on the buzz. Now from this brown lead here, obviously the lead comes through this choke here, which is a suppressor. Put it on the other end of the brown lead and you should get a reading. It's unlikely that will be an open circuit anyway. This is just a ferrule ring, there's nothing in there. It's just to filter out high frequencies. to stop it going back up the mains and interfering with the neighbour's television. So here we go from this one here. If you follow it through and go to the side, that's okay. Alright, and you should get a reading on the next one to it. Let's see if we can get down a bit closer. So we're going to check over the speed switch, and there's the red switch and the green switch. You're on and off and speed. So we've checked from here to the other end, which is going to be okay. That's alright. And now we'll check across to the blue on the other side of the green switch, and now we switch. Right, so we just check for across there, make sure about that, that's okay. You should get a reading on the other brown lead as well, which we do, that's fine. Okay, that switch is in the off position, so, well, it's not in the off, it's in the low position. Now when you put it in the high position, you should also get a reading onto the blue across there. Okay, so that says the switch is okay. So the next stage, what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the motor and check over the motor now. So to remove the motor, there's 3 screws here which have to come out. So this one here, 3. Right. 1, 2, 3. The whole cover lifts off now, carefully of course, and just spin this around here so you can see clearly. Just hold this connector tag down and pull on the, off that one comes, and the same on the other one. And we just simply take that out. Oops. There we are. That's our motor out. Put that on the bench. Here we have our motor. This can just come straight off. This is just for positioning the motor inside the casing. There's only one way this goes on, and that's with those 2 lugs, if you like, onto those parts there, and there's only 2 there, and even if it goes that way around, it's still the same position, so not to worry about that. We can put that to one side, and now we can see, yeah, on this motor here, one of the brushes inside here, it looks like it's actually cracked off. Where on earth that's gone, I don't know, but I'll have to have a look for it. So it looks like it's just a new set of brushes. Now to replace the brushes, we'll do. I'm going to do the pair of them, and I'll just show you how to replace the brushes. It's quite a simple thing. Take out this screw here. This one clips there. Do not touch the alternate, the commutator inside there. Don't put your fingers in there, because if you get anything on the commutator, anything grease or anything like that, you'll cause tracking, arcing, and that will most certainly damage your commutator. Now I think this may have just be jammed or something's happened to it, but anyway, we'll have a look at this next. Yeah, I'm going to replace this brush and holder. I do have a spare, I've just checked, and I think that's probably our fault for the rough running. So there we are, that comes off in one. I'll just get the other one now. While we've got the brush moved out the way, the commutator in this, I'll just turn this one down. I'm just checking to see if there's any marks on the commutator at all, what condition it's in. and it's a little bit worn, it's a little bit aged, but it's certainly not worn down at all. So here we are, we've got the new brush. Well, it's not new, it's off another machine. So we'll just put that brush on there, close him down like that, gently does it, mustn't crack the new brush. And once that's in place, there we are, that holds itself in. But now put the cover back on, the clamp I should say, and our 2 screws. And don't forget to put the spade connector back on. Yes, we have to put the spade connector back on, of course, otherwise it won't work. And we can just screw that one down, screw this one down. We'll just put that spade connector back in. So we're reassembling the Henry cleaner now, and as you can see, we've reconnected the leads to the ring gear contacts here. We're ready to reassemble it. You can reassemble it with the cable undone, because it doesn't work on a sprung recoil. It's manual, so it may in fact be better to so this is better. Just reassemble it. Like that. Now, to reassemble the back, turn that up on its top like that, and bring this here. The motor mount goes into there. You then drop the motor on it, locating the support post. Okay, so then line up the spool with the pulley with the handle. You have to line up those 2 holes, bring that up like that, and you then can line the holes up, make sure they're fully seated down, and you can then put your screws in. you've got these 3 screws in, and you can see it properly down, you can then carefully put the spool and the ring gear whole case back onto there, making sure that this cable comes through here like so that it's free to wind up. And the next part now is the lid. Now we've got the 2 holes with your 2 switches, and you bring this over the switches here, over your mains on and off switch and your economy switch there. And when you get to this stage, just before you clamp it down and put the screws in, make sure that you put your cord guide back in place, otherwise you'll be cursing because you'll have to take it apart again. And then you can tighten all your screws up. This slats over there like so, through the gap there, and that's that part of the lid on. And when we've got to that part, I'll also put a bit of cloth down so I don't scratch the casing on it. And you hold them together, just flip that over like that. And now we're next to put our 1, 2, 3, 4 screws in here. And we can then put the machine back together. HEPA flow filters, I've got none at the moment, so I have to reassemble it without filter at the moment. Now it's waiting to put our fuse back in the plug.